Now we're about to go over the wall run, and the wall run is definitely one of my favorite moves, just because one, of how essential it is in parkour, and two, how cool it is to actually be able to go and run up one-story buildings. I mean, once you learn this move, you'll be able to run up 8-foot walls like that. And if you get the move down really well, then you can get walls as high as twice your height. So it's definitely a really cool move, and once you're running up walls and it becomes really easy, it's just a lot of fun to do. So let's just go over the basic principles behind the wall run and how to do it, because you'll realize how simple the wall run really is, and you'll be able to do it pretty easily once we go over these things. Alright, so what the wall run is you're going to be hitting off the wall and going up a wall or a building, and some people think you're actually going to run vertically up the wall, and that's not what it is. It's really just a jump from the ground, then a jump off the wall, then grabbing up on top of the wall and going up. So this is what it will look like. You're going to jump from here, plant a foot on the wall, and then jump again up. So basically you're transferring momentum going this way into an upward direction after you hit the wall. So one of the main principles I want to talk about is the speed at which you go into the wall. You're going to need some speed going this way, so you run up, and then you're going to need some speed into the wall when you jump into the wall, because how you jump off the wall is by creating friction with your foot when it hits the wall and getting a good grip on the wall so you can actually go up it. So you want to have a good amount of speed going into the wall, because if you don't have any speed, your foot's not going to get any traction and you're just going to slip and fall down. So you want to make sure you have a good amount of speed going into the wall and a decent amount of speed when you jump into the wall. Alright, the next principle I want to talk about is your distance away from the wall when you're performing your jump into the wall run. This is going to make a big difference on how it works out. You want to make sure you don't jump from too close, because if you jump from too close, you won't have enough room for your leg to go into the wall and absorb and then make a jump up, so you'll just slam into the wall. And if you do it from too far away, it will look like this. You'll jump up and then you'll lose momentum and you'll start going down into the wall, and you won't be taking advantage of the full momentum and speed you could be having, and what you'll do is your foot will just slide down off the wall. So you need to find the correct position, and it's going to be different for each person, of where you need to jump into the wall from. Alright, the third principle I want to talk about is after you hit the wall, after you jump here and you're hitting off the wall, the angle of your body or the angle of your back is going to make a big difference on where you go. So when you're hitting off the wall, if you angle your back this way, then that's where you're going to go. You're going to go backwards, because that's where your body's facing, that's where your center is facing, and it's going to just launch you back off the wall. You want to make sure your back is facing forward or slightly angled into the wall. That way when you hit off with your foot, your momentum and force will go up the wall instead of going back. Alright, so we went over the form, we went over a few principles. Just keep those things in mind when we're outside learning the move. It will make it a lot easier when you're actually trying to do it, and you'll learn it a lot faster. Okay, we talked about the mechanics behind the wall run. Now it's time to show you the steps into the wall run. Now there are two parts to the wall run, like I said before, and the first part is you're going to hit off the wall, and the second part is when you get on top of the wall, the muscle up and top out. These are both important and are both needed if you want to get a successful wall run. Alright, so part one, hit up off the wall. For the first step, let's talk about the run up. When you run up, you want it to be a smooth, fast run up, so no stutter steps. And then as you come into the wall, as you jump, you want to make sure you're at a distance that's good for the wall run. You don't want to be too close, or else you won't be able to jump and slide off. And you don't want to be too far away, or else you won't have enough power into the wall and you'll be going down and you won't be able to go up. So as you get to there, that's the first step. Jump into the wall. The second step, as you hit the wall, you want your foot that you're planting on the wall to be a little bit below your hip, and then the ball of your foot is going to be flat on the wall. You don't want to have your toe on the wall, and you don't want to have your heel on the wall. You want the ball of your foot on the wall, and your leg is going to be bent a little bit above or right at 90 degrees. That way you can jump and put all your force into the jump off the wall. Alright, the next step is the actual jump. And what you're going to do is you're going to propel yourself with this foot. Your angle of your chest is going to be forward towards the wall, because if it's too far back, what you're going to do is just launch yourself back. So you want it to go into the wall, that way you go straight up. And with your arms, you're going to be tossing them up into the air as you jump. That way all your force and weight is going into the jump. Then step 3, as your hands are up, you're going to lean forward and just grab onto the wall. Okay, so that was the first part. That's how you hit up off the wall. Now let's move on to the second part. Once you grab onto the wall, the muscle up and top out. Okay, now we're on part 2, and this is the muscle up and the top out. Now for this wall, it's kind of short, so you could probably easily when you top out, you're probably already gonna have your arms bent. But for demonstration, for higher walls, you're probably gonna be on your fingertips, and you're just gonna be hanging on the wall fully extended. And that's harder than the other way, but it's the same thing. So let's just start from the hardest way, and I'll show you how to do it from here. All right, so you're hanging on the wall. Step 1 is you're gonna push your hips off the wall and plant your foot, whichever one you like to pull up, your right or left foot, onto the wall. So it'll look like this. You'll be hanging, you'll push off the wall with your hips. And your foot. And what this will do will enable you to get in a position where you won't just have to depend on your arms to lift you up. You can use your legs along with your arms to go up the wall. So step 1, you get into this position. Step 2, you're going to pull with your arms up towards the wall and push off with your feet and step up off the wall. And as you do this, you're going to pull your wrist on top. So you're going to go from your fingertips to the top of your wrist on the wall. So it'll look like this. Here, to the wrist, and then you're going to pull your chest over. So you need to do this all in one fluid motion, that way you can do it fast. So here, chest over, and then step 3, you're going to top out, you're going to pull your chest up, and then kick your leg over. There's different ways you can do this. You can go straight, or you can go over to the side. But what you're going to do is just kick your feet onto the wall. That way you can easily go over. So you go here, and then you can either thread your leg through, or hop both legs up, and then hop over onto the other side. Hey, Jonathan here. You just finished watching the final video of the 5-day training course. So I want to congratulate you on actually watching all the videos. Most people don't go through the actual thing. They stop halfway through or something. So I want to congratulate you on that. You're one step closer to getting really good at parkour and getting where you want to be. And if you haven't started implementing some of the stuff in the videos yet, go ahead and start doing that. Set up a plan, a schedule for next week or in the next few days to start actually training some of the moves that we went over and implementing some of the things we taught you. I also want to thank you for the message you sent me and the emails telling me about how far you've gotten with the course and how much it's helped you. I love helping people out, and that's the main reason for this training course, to help you get started and get you on your feet with parkour. Now, if you really enjoyed this course, you got a lot of value from it, you learned a lot of things, and you started implementing some of the things we taught you, then I really want you to check out my full crash course program. My full crash course in parkour is a lot like the training course that you just got, except way more in detail, way more in depth, and a lot more information. So this course basically walks you from being a beginner to being awesome at parkour. So go ahead and click the link below, check out the video that goes more over the details and what the course is all about. And make sure to watch the video all the way to the end, because I've got a really super awesome deal that I know you're gonna like. And this is only gonna be going out for a certain amount of time. So click on the link and I'll see you in a little bit.